Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. We provide fan-oriented and analytic discussions on a variety of animated shows, movies, and anime, currently featuring Steven Universe, Gravity Falls, Star Wars Rebels, Moonbeam City, Ruby, and Adventure Time. I'm Dylan Hysen, and today I'm joined by Delaney Stovall.
Hello.
Today, Delaney and I will be discussing the latest episode of Moonbeam City, The Legend of Circuit Lake. As always, our Moonbeam City podcast may not be suitable for younger audiences, although the rest of our podcasts at the Overly Animated Podcast are. You can check out everything about this podcast at overlyanimated.com. If you are currently listening to this and thinking or saying out loud potentially to me, Dylan, I did not know there was a new episode of Moonbeam City last night. Well, that is because it aired at 1 a.m.
For whatever reason.
Well, I mean, I think it's clear what the reason is this time.
Yeah.
But Comedy Central very quietly, without a press release, and towards and I think it was yesterday or the day before, swapped it from its normal airtime of 10:30 to 1 a.m. and it is currently scheduled to air at 1 a.m. next week as well for the season finale. This is a sign that a show is being run off and is not going to be renewed.
No.
So, I'm not happy about that because Moonbeam City Season 1 wasn't the best thing in the world, but it was still very good. And
it's very good, and it's worth it.
This is the type of show that needs a second season because it was already good in its first season and it showed a ton of potential. And it really went for it. So at the very least, even though it's getting canceled, which it's not confirmed yet, but basically that's what this move means. Even though that's happening, it's still, at least they went for it. At least they just had a ton of crazy plots in Season 1, but at the same time, it really sucks, and this is exactly the type of show you want to get a second season, and I mean, Comedy Central twice scheduled a new episode and then pulled it right before. They did that twice before this, so that sucks. At the same time, they did give Moonbeam City, I think, the best time slot, on their entire network, after a new episode of South Park before a new Daily Show.
So they might not be running it off entirely. I think we might just have to wait, though probably.
I mean,
they did try.
Assuming they tried with the show, assuming next week's is the season finale, which it seems like, although I haven't seen that confirmed anywhere. Then, I mean, if they're just airing the last two at 1 a.m., it's not like they're going to renew the show after they aired them after reruns at the latest possible time. So that's very unfortunate. We're still going to be covering this episode and the finale. Still a very big fan of the show, and I don't know, hoping for some miracle reversal, I guess.
Please.
Yeah.
Please.
So let's get into The Legend of Circuit Lake, which aired again at 1 a.m. last night. If you have not seen the episode yet, it is on Comedy Central's website, so you can check that out. This is the 9th episode of the first season. I'm not sure where in the production order these last 3 episodes are. It's not on the Wikipedia article, so it has to be some of the last ones. It seems like the next week's The Wedding of Rad (Lie) does seem like it is the last episode that was produced. Okay, let's get into The Legend of Circuit Lake. Delaney, what did you think of this episode?
I loved this episode. This episode was so good, and I feel like this was kind of the culmination of the show in a character way.
Why is this the culmination of the show?
Because we have Dazzle accused of Rad's murder, and this is the epitome of the best Rad plotline. Rad is gone for 2 months, and everyone's oh, where did Rad go?
They don't realize it for 2 months until
it's
gone.
So great. And it's beautiful. This episode's awesome.
I mean, I enjoyed Legend of Circuit Lake. I think that much like a few episodes previously for me, that this episode had some great concepts. I do love the idea of Dazzle going to prison for Rad's murder, and also just how they went about it was brilliant.
Yeah, it's great.
Just Dazzle being no, I would be offended if I wasn't the prime suspect. It was wonderful. And I love him in prison, that plotline with Silka, and then Rad's plotline with in the virtual reality world. All of these are just great concepts. I don't think that it was executed as well as some previous episodes. To me, this isn't anywhere close to the Quest for Aquatica or the multiple Pizzazz Sisters episode too.
This is for me second to the Pizzazz episode.
Okay, see, I don't think it's close to that top tier.
No, this episode's great.
I think that we'll go through it. Maybe it's a very context dependent show, and you're watching for your enjoyment of it. I didn't find as many great gags as some previous episodes. By the way,
The entire episode's a gag. That's why it's so great.
entire episode's a gag. Of note is Moonbeam City was nominated for an Annie Award this year. The Annie Awards are a joke, but that's okay.
Yes, true facts.
Best General Audience Animated Television Broadcast Production. Nominated alongside Simpsons, BoJack Horseman, and Bob's Burgers. That's some high praise. And they put up for nomination Quest for Aquatica, which I think is a pretty good choice. That episode's very good. So that's good that the show's getting praise, even if the Annie Awards are a sham. But that's good.
Yep.
Let's talk. For me, I don't know what stands out to you specifically from the episode, other than just like the concepts, because I agree those are kind of brilliant. The concepts.
I mean, like, the animation for the virtual world, pretty great.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just the character interactions, and it's just, I think for the most part, what does stand out about this episode are the concepts in the episode. Like you said, there aren't really, like, any standout jokes, though I think a real treasure from this episode is the prison warden.
You're a fan of, what's her name? Ice something.
Ice Ivory.
Yeah. I was not catching on to any puns in the names this week. We had Judge Stylus Garza. We had Ice Ivory. There's another one. I don't know.
Ice Ivory's, like, pretty obvious, like, to the point of, like, absurdity, but...
And I didn't recognize the voice actors. So we had, the warden, Ice Ivory, voiced by Susan Sarandon, and the Silka, voiced by Molly Shannon. So, nice 1 a.m. Comedy Central show getting the big names for...
Right. Silka was also a standout character.
Silka, to me, is the standout for sure, yeah.
It's pretty great.
For me, I loved the Dazzle stuff once Rad disappears, his obsession with, like, himself. He's like, I had drawings of Rad. The beginning with Rad 2 was really wonderful. Other than that, I mean, one of the most notable things, I think, is the Dazzle Silka sex montage that we get. I have no idea what to make of that.
So great.
It was interesting. So I don't know, a lot of notable things. Let's go through it specifically, because I think both of us didn't watch it like right before recording, so maybe we're getting great gags. And like I alluded to, the beginning of the episode, we begin with Rad walking up. By the way, okay, first of all, Rad gets another subplot to his own this week. This is like the Rad show at this point.
Yes, that's why it's...
And the finale is just Rad too, so, like...
Worth it. So good.
I guess worth it. I mean, he is the standout character from a lot of the best episodes.
I mean, Dazzle, like, we've already established that Dazzle's incompetent.
So?
Like, who cares about him?
But are you saying Rad is more competent than Dazzle?
No, but he's at least more entertaining than Dazzle.
I like how quick you're to say no, yeah. That is... I mean, what a world we'd live in if Rad was more competent. I agree, Rad is more entertaining than Dazzle. I think putting him on his own is an interesting choice. We have some interesting pizzazz interactions to talk about, specifically with Dazzle. So yeah, Rhapsody begins with Rad saying, General Merriment, I definitely need to be included in that.
It's like, what?
I think that's...
Oh, no, this is the standout. This is the standout thing from the episode, is that Rad was on a TV show. Like, oh my god.
Rad was on a Canadian Broadcasting Network show, The Jolly Closet.
So good.
Baggett, Bob, and the Canadian Kids.
So good.
And last and least, Rad.
Like, this is why I love the episode in the first 8 minutes, because of this alone.
It's pretty wonderful. I honestly forgot that Rad was Canadian. Like, we hadn't mentioned that in a while.
This is true, because it's usually, like, the beginning joke of every episode was, like, some Canadian joke.
So, on one hand, this was pretty funny, and young Rad was animated incredibly, and, like, it was a great gag. On the other hand, this is literally just How I Met Your Mother's joke, repurposed with Rad. What's her... I'm trying to...
Well, I have no idea.
Characters in that show's names. They did this exact same thing. The Canadian character was like a Canadian pop star, and they discovered previous clips of them. But I don't know. I think it makes sense for Rad too. And what they ask him what God looks like, and then make fun of his answer, and they put him in the trouble bubble. Which
is funny because, like, it was like a good answer.
It was like, yeah, it was.
And they put him in a trouble bubble. So good.
And then Rad pees himself in real life as younger himself pees himself on the recording.
It's pretty great.
Looks like we better go to commercial. Yeah, I liked it. It was a good good start to the episode.
Wonderful.
And I'm trying to reverse engineer how they came up with the plots for this. Like, it's like, okay, we need to get Dazzle accused of, obviously the initial concept of the episode is Dazzle accused of Rad's murder. So it's like, how does Rad go missing, right?
I feel like they made the characters around this idea.
Yeah, for sure, right. Everything's around, it's like that, and then it's like, okay, then we can have Dazzle in prison afterwards, but...
No, I mean, like, this is the show. Like, they were like,
okay, you think? Okay.
These two characters.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're overstating a little. Like, this, you're right, this is kind of a big culmination of Dazzle and Rad's interactions previously. I don't know if it's necessarily a culmination or if it's just the best example of them using it, you know?
I mean, I would like to look at it as a culmination. Again, it depends, like, we could look at, like, you know, when the episodes were produced, but I mean, I don't think it necessarily matters, like, intent, but how it functions in the show. Like, we're at the end of the season, and I feel like this is how we can interpret this.
Yeah, sure. That's a fine interpretation. I mean, it's certainly like no other episode is like based around a concept as much as this one, I guess. So, I mean, other than like an idea of like a setting or something, this is like a character interaction at the core of an episode. So in order to get to the place where Rad is missing, I guess we have to have Rad looking for the records room because of that initial commercial. How they get to the ideas of this episode and the writer's room must be incredibly chaotic and interesting. Don't you know the concept of sweet talking? It's sexual by nature.
She like pepper sprays.
Yes. Rad looking, Das Folly. There's another name. Dirt is like I don't know who Das Folly was. It was like the guy there, right?
Yeah.
Dirt from the records room.
He's like in a wheelchair and blind.
Yeah, I'm blind. Well, yeah. Well, he was like, had synthetic eyes, I guess was the,
Well, no, I got out of it that he like had gone blind because of,
yeah,
no,
but why
he's
would
blind.
his pupils disappear then if he was blind?
Because he like stared into the light or whatever. This is a very easy concept to grasp.
No, I don't know if this is an easy concept to grasp.
No, like this is a thing. Like he was blinded by like the virtual thing, and he like this is a thing.
Okay, I think it's the same thing.
This is very easy sci-fi trope.
Well, why is being blinded by a thing a sci-fi trope? That's okay. What was wrong with the old
Blinded?
computers?
There's literally a song called "Blinded by Science," Dylan. Just so you know,
they should never have been refangled, which is a good line. Virtual way to access the virtual records room. Yeah, but it had praised the heavy privacy of the blank eyes. Yeah, and he's like, usually there's a gasp. Where's the gasp? Which is pretty good. This episode's very Rad heavy in the beginning because like you need to get Rad to a point of missing, I guess, in order to do the Dazzle stuff. Rad, they're shooting targets. Dazzle pulls out like this giant gun, of course, and then where's Rad? He usually loves the free bad coffee. He was talking about the free bad coffee for weeks. Yeah, seems like Rad. Rad in the virtual reality. Euclidia, the digit angel. What do you think of Euclidia, the digit angel?
It's amazing.
Why?
It's pretty great. Like her designs, one, quality. Her voice, also great, and then just the concept is brilliant. It's really funny.
Grip the pulsating access rod.
It's so
Grip
good.
it harder. Cup the lips of purity. Yeah, this was the best.
So
I think.
great.
It was just
So great.
such a dumb joke, but like it was great.
Awesome.
Your intentions are impure, cyber dangerous, and they sealed off. And then the guy seals off the room because it was cyber dangerous.
Cyber dangerous. Whatever that means.
Yeah. Rad hasn't been around in 2 months. Actually, I'm just going to take his baseball chair. His death makes this all the sweeter.
The baseball chair is also great.
Yeah, that Rad has that.
Like, that he owns it and that Dazzle wants it.
Dazzle, of course, wants it, yeah.
It's true.
Internal affairs handling it. No way Dazzle murdered Rad. I mean, it's possible, says Chrysalis.
This is also just great.
This sequence, I think, is the best part of the episode.
You know, they're like, no, he definitely, he kind of, like, it's pretty great.
And then, Dazzle.
And, like, Dazzle does not help at all, because he's constantly like, what if he's dead? Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
What did he say earlier? It was like, wouldn't it be when they were at the range?
Yeah, he'd be like, wouldn't it be hilarious if he, hanged himself or something like that, right? Yeah, that was it.
No, it was like
something funnier than that.
Like, in the ocean, and like...
yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
which is ironic because Dazzle like threw someone overboard. That one.
It's your favorite part.
That's still the best part of the show.
Body. Just throws the dead body into the ocean.
I would be offended if you considered anyone but me your number one suspect. And then he says, I have drawings.
Yeah, oh my god, this is so good.
And then he said, you're under arrest for the murder of Rad Cunningham. Rad Cunningham was murdered? Great, says Dazzle.
Wait, what was the first part?
You're,
so dumb.
Yeah, it was great.
Actually, I had the trial. Can we talk about the wheel?
Judge Stylus Garza. You have two options, a trial or an express justice option. The verdict vortex.
Brilliant.
Don't choose it, says Pizzazz and Chrysalis. Well, I do have a brain, and that brain loves the thrill. Let's talk about the options on the vertex vortex. I have a screen cap here. We had life in prison. We have a $100 fine. We have 15 years in prison. We have 15 minutes in prison. We have various methods of death. We have mistrial, 800 hours community service, prize, riding mower. And we have there's just a prize on there too. And then we have acquitted plus free continental breakfast. So that's good.
So good.
Yeah.
And they're acting like it's like whammy.
Oh yeah, and then they're like, no deal,
well, I
big
should
money.
say it's press your luck, but
press your luck, the original, yeah.
It's whammy.
And then he gets life in prison.
So good.
Now we're in prison, I guess.
This might be like top 3 concepts in the show. The verdict vortex.
That you're right. We're talking about like we're saying we might not be remembering great gags. Yeah, you're right. That's one of the great gags from the episode for sure. The verdict verdict.
Well, I mean in the show in general, this is like very good.
Yeah, I agree. His prison inmate. Are you a cop? And I'm not a cop. I'm a rapist. Oh, good. I thought I was gonna have to tell you.
It's just like, oh my god.
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, I laughed. It was pretty funny.
Yeah. We have.
And he's just like breaking the toilet.
I don't know what he was doing.
No, he's just punching it. Like what?
We have the introduction of Ice Irie. Hard, supple, creamy, fresh meat repeats over and over.
So great. So.
I feel like this is more of just a concept that they introduced and then almost did nothing with. Like her character doesn't really do anything in the episode.
I like expected her to like be all over Dazzle, but instead she's just mad the whole time.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Her character though like cracks me up. I really enjoy it.
She seems like your type of character.
Like it's very funny. I enjoyed it. And what is that supposed to mean?
I think it means exactly what it means. Okay. Circuit Lake, yeah. There's a lot of the rad stuff had like no notable lines or anything for a while.
No.
So notably, let's talk about Pizzazz being devastated over Dazzle going to prison.
He's like crying into his jacket, and even Chrysalis is like,
They're talking about what was it? It was something Rodriguez, right?
Yeah, some kid got abducted.
I'm missing the pun from. Missing the blatant pun with Rodriguez, but yeah. And what do we make of this between Pizzazz and Dazzle's CopCon fling every year? And
I mean, they've hinted at this like the entire time, much to my displeasure, that Pizzazz and Dazzle are like a thing, but not. I don't know.
I mean, are you devastated by them being a thing?
Yes.
Glitter Rodriguez. There you go. Was the guy, but I don't know. It's interesting character progression with Pizzazz. In the beginning, it didn't seem like she cared about him at all, and now this seems kind of natural.
I feel like she obviously cares about him simply because he's literally the worst cop ever. Like, he's like beloved on the force. Like, it makes no sense.
He's probably cold without his jacket. She says about.
Oh my god, that part. It's like wow. Intense.
I think we're due for a big romantic scene between Pizzazz and Dazzle. Sigh. And no Chrysalis Pizzazz shipping this episode. You'd think they would become a thing while Dazzle is in prison, but no.
No, exactly.
Comfort each other, but no. Cavity inspection from Silica, scanning his.
Oh my god, this part's also great.
Scanning his cavity, maybe just a few more times.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Rad meets the virtual kid and wife, Code, and didn't catch her name, but yeah. It was something ridiculous.
And they have a dog.
And then they have a dog, of course, yeah. Typical situation. Fantasy situation for Rad, I guess. So, what I love about Silka is that,
she's a building.
She's a building. Like, she could have very easily just been, like, the virtual reality security system. But, like, they went the direction of she's a building. Even if it doesn't make sense to us, they just keep emphasizing it. That,
like she's a building.
Like, it makes no sense to me that Silka is the building, but they just keep doing it. And it's pretty great. Dazzle says, refreshing to meet a building I can talk to.
It's funny, like, I read a book recently, it's called Incarceron, and it's a young adult series, but it's a prison that's alive. So
that's what this is.
It's a fun concept.
And even though, like, it's not actually the prison, it's just this thing, like, this robotic, I don't know, whatever.
I don't know, like, she is the prison, but like...
But she is the prison, so, and they emphasize multiple times that Dazzle's fucking the prison.
The AI in, iRobot.
She reminds me of this one Simpsons Treehouse of Horror episode with, I don't know if you've seen it, but yeah. That seems like what that was based on. And also, the classic, what's it called? But whatever. Yeah, I think that's an interesting spin to go on this concept.
It's very funny.
Throw it in our face multiple times and it's good. Ice is not happy with Silka and...
No. Not at all.
Yeah. Chrysalis, meanwhile, is looking into Dazzle's arrest. Try again later, says Ice when she calls. Man, I hate that albino bitch, says Chrysalis.
I did laugh. I liked that line.
Like Chrysalis being sassy.
Yes. It's pretty great.
Silka is feeling something new. She's conflated.
Conflated?
Yeah.
So dumb.
It was pretty dumb, but it was good. I don't think you belong here, but I think we belong together, says Silka.
No, my favorite is, like, Dazzle and, like, his, like, at no point was he, like, trying to escape. He was just, like, all about Silka.
Yeah, that's all Dazzle cares about. It totally makes sense. Since the beginning of the series, that's all he cares about in these situations.
It's great.
Even though Silka is not, like, a human or has, like, anything like this.
He actually has sex with a wall.
Yes, it's pretty great.
It's great.
Dazzle, yeah. Then Ice blows Dazzle's cover. And Dazzle's like, but you should know that I'm in prison for killing a cop. But I'm innocent. Damn it, should not have said that last part.
Yeah. Oh, and then, like, she, like, Ice, brings him in, and she's like, notice anything different? And he's just like, no.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Crow's feet? That wasn't there last week. Is that what you wanted me to see? She gets so mad.
That was pretty rude of Dazzle.
It's pretty great.
Silka helps Dazzle escape. Solitary confinement, they'll never look for you there.
Oh wait, also, we didn't talk about how, like, obviously this is what the warden's about. Like, she, like, makes them all strip. And then,
Then do squats and stuff like that, yeah. Very obvious.
It's pretty great.
Meanwhile, Cyber Salmon love the prime numbers. All this dumb number digit stuff.
I thought it was entertaining.
So the wife, so I can have sex with your handsome new father, she says to her son. Yeah, good.
Yep.
Take off that wet jumpsuit, says Silka back in the prison. You want to get away from me? Last change. Prepare to be dazzled. Does he really say that?
Yes, unfortunately.
And then Dazzle and the prison, just like, yeah.
Whatever they did, like, I don't
Stop,
even know.
I'm in love with this prison.
Oh my god.
I'm not a horror mama, says Silka to Ice.
I was dying. Like, it's ridiculous. She comes out with, like, a crystal axe.
Yeah, she has a crystal axe, yeah.
Oh my god, it's ridiculous.
It's yeah. The whole thing just has no time to develop, and then it just goes absurd.
No, it's great. I like it because, like, it's such a tired trope, but they did it so fast in such a weird way that it's hilarious.
Yeah, I agree with that. They did at least take it in interesting directions.
So I will excuse it for going so fast because I don't think it would have been as entertaining otherwise.
If it slowed down, we would have realized that there's no substance here. But yeah,
but, like, they went so fast that it was hilarious, so it's fine.
Dazzle pole vaults over the wall to, meanwhile, they extract Rad. I guess too dangerous to take off his virtual reality helmet, and Rad wakes up. No, I'm Rad again. Goodbye, code numbers. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Aw, do you feel bad for Red? Or that whatever?
Yes.
What do you think of Red's design when he wakes up?
Pretty great. Equality.
Yeah. And then like them having sex, and they show him like humping the air in the virtual reality helmet. Yeah.
Yep.
Typical Red.
It's pretty great. Like, it's quality.
We have a Genesis sighting, the announcer or the anchor.
Yep.
Prison burnt down, and then Dazzle with beehive lips. So yeah. So
and then Ice survived.
Did Ice survive?
Yep, she's just burned.
Just like we learned that all the prisoners died in the prison burning down. Yeah, just way to make this super super dark show. Thanks for that. Tragedy has been avoided, says Genesis Jones, putting quotes around tragedy. Yeah.
He says a tragedy.
Oh, he says tragedy?
Yeah, that's what he says.
Why is it tragedy though?
Because Rad didn't die.
Was he even talking about Rad?
Yeah, no, he was like, so we avoided a tragedy.
Oh, okay, because he wasn't actually dead. Okay.
Yes.
Any chance of him dying? Probably not. Damn it, we'll never lose hope, says the
so funny.
And then in the stinger we have Silka has downloaded her consciousness to a frozen yogurt stand.
That's just conveniently right there.
Yeah. Full cavity scan just for old time's sakes. Yeah.
You have a camera? No, but I have like
these like terrible yogurt utensils, apparently, in quotes, yeah.
Like, oh my god.
And then back in the virtual reality world, comforting the son, Code, and they have made a Rad statue.
Like Rad's dream.
Rad's dream, yeah. Too bad. And too bad he'll never get back to it again, because the point of Rad is that he suffers.
Basically, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so looking back on it, yeah, there's some good stuff here. I mean, I love the concept of Silka just being the prison, and I love I keep forgetting the verdict vortex and stuff like that. Yeah, so it's a solid episode. I'm still going to maintain that it's not as good as like the two best ones, but it's still up there.
I love this episode. It's awesome.
Next week, the wedding of Rad Rensley's Lie, 1 a.m. Wednesday. We'll be talking about this probably Thursday. I need to talk to Delaney about when we're going to record. And
yeah, because some of us have to go home.
I am also going to be out of town at that point next week, but I can still probably record.
Well, it'll depend on when I get home.
Okay, we're going to talk about this not on air. So yeah, there you go. Last comments on the I don't know. I'm just upset that the show's going away.
I know, but this episode was brilliant. But I don't know. I'm going to like hope against hope that we will get more.
Yeah, we'll see.
Maybe they'll go online or something, which we've already been through that once. I
mean, they would need to produce a new season, so I don't think. Yeah. Anyway, everyone involved with the series, I guess, could at least be proud that they made like a great first season and stuff like that. And I'm just very, very sorry to see it not looking like it's going to get renewed. But anyway, I'm Dylan Nice, and that's Delaney Stovall. OverlyAnimated.com, where you can find out everything about the podcast. Patreon.com/OverlyAnimated. You can support us. Thanks to our current patrons, Shane and Mitch Cordell, Beatrice, Nate, Andy, Jamie, A.K. Hey, now Fever, Mitch Cordell, University of Beatrix, James, Buzz Like, and Railman. Next podcasts are Ruby on Sunday, and also on Sunday we're going to be covering the first episode of
Miraculous Ladybug.
Miraculous Ladybug. I don't remember the name of the show ever.
Thank
so there
God
you go.
I'm here.
Good, you're here. Yeah. So we'll be doing. Those are our next two ones.
I was just gonna let you struggle for a little bit longer, and I was like, no.
I'm just never like Ladybug. I just never remember that she's Ladybug.
The French weird whatever Korean Ladybug show.
Yeah, that's actually what it is. There you go. Yeah. So we'll see you next week. Yeah, we'll be back next week covering this and everything else at overlyanimated.com. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.